Hello, everybody. Welcome to Super Gamekast 2
Woo!
Turbo HD Remix Hyper Fighting.
It's not HD Remix till we get the cameras working.
Right. Oh my god. So, back in the day, we used to change our logo and shit out every 50 episodes. That's when we should do the name branding. We'll call it Turbo.
We'll just change the name.
Super Gamecast 2 Turbo.
I mean, if we're staying on YouTube, I mean, why not?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We
What
can
are they gonna do about it?
yeah, eventually, when episode 100, when I'm hopefully moved up there, we'll rebrand again.
Yeah,
There we go.
hell
Boom,
yeah,
winners.
I like it.
Yeah, this is how winners happen, people. Um,
Winging it.
yeah. So hey, it's been 4 days.
Since the last podcast.
Yeah, since the recording and posting the last podcast because I threw it up day of.
Okay.
Yeah. So anything happened to you, man, in that time?
Oh man, in the last 4 days, no, I just kind of coming down from E3 and went to a jam studio, a practice studio to play some music with a friend, and that was a hell of a time. Got to try a Marshall stack for the first time. We just played as loud as we could, and I woke up with a massive headache the next day. I wonder why. Um, and oh man, we went to like a pizza place afterwards, which I was super psyched about. It's like $4 slices, and they were just giant. They were larger than like a sheet of paper, uh, and it was really good. But the worst part was that they had karaoke going, and so they would just blast it out of the speakers. It was so loud you could not carry a conversation anywhere in that place, and so you had to sit and listen to this guy sing "Get Low." And you did not realize how long "Get Low" is until someone does it on karaoke. And let me tell you, that song goes on longer than it should. Um, and after that, it's been a game of recovery since then, just trying to catch up on all the things I need to do before work starts. Uh, but yeah, played some Splatoon 2.
Splatoon.
Yeah, which is a great game, except for the part where I suck at it.
I,
Oh
I
man,
I am frequently the same way, so I feel that.
it's a great game. I do my best to try and cover as much ground as I can, but people have got that system down to a science where you are having to uh, build up abilities on each of your items, like your shirt and your hat and your shoes. Uh, you build up your abilities in that, then you break them down and have turn them into ability chunks, and you keep doing that until you get the abilities that you like. And if you line them all up, it's like the same type on one item. It's more powerful, but it takes so much time. You have to play so much to do that, and I just do not have the time anymore to play a game that much. But man, there are some people online that have been doing that for a while. But we participated in Splatfest, which was unicorns versus narwhals, and we used Pokemon logic to decide which one was better, which is narwhals are real, unicorns aren't. Therefore, unicorns are legendary. Therefore, unicorns are better. So we did our part in the war. I don't know if the results have come out yet, but
The
uh,
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's see. I had a super busy day on Saturday because I had a half day of work, and then I had to get a haircut because I was looking mad homeless.
Uh,
Like,
okay, so I wanted to ask you because I don't talk with people a lot about this because I also got my hair cut Friday,
uh huh.
or Thursday, and uh, I love getting my hair cut. I don't. Do you have like a similar experience? You just sit in a chair for 20, 30 minutes
Just chill out. Yeah, it's
and you just
nice.
chill.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. No, I go to that Sports Clips place where they give you the back massage and
oh my God.
yeah, dude. It's a little pricey, but it's worth it.
Right?
Yeah,
Sounds great.
they give you the head massage and the shampoo and the hot towel. Ah,
Ooh.
ooh, yeah. Let me tell you, that's a chain. That might be up where you are.
It might
Uh,
be. I've already built a relationship with my barber. He knows what I like. But
um, yeah. Another reason I like this place is like, unlike most like traditional hairdresser places, like a barber will shave a beard. That's no
yeah.
problem. But
Yep.
like most like salons won't. But that's a big reason why I like this place is like they're like, no, we do beards, just an extra $5.
Right. Oh man, that's great.
And I'm like, great, lob it off, awesome. Um,
That's cool.
so yeah, I had to get that haircut done because, dude, I was looking real homeless. I was like, so you've seen Avengers Endgame, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you know like Thor in that
Talking
movie.
like yeah, that
It
Thor.
was getting pretty close.
Ooh.
So I was like, all right. I lopped all my beard off. Beard is gone, though it's been a day and I have a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yep.
Um,
How it
and
goes.
and then like my haircut super short. My girlfriend just like her immediate response was like, "You're so naked." I'm just like, "Thank
You
you."
just went from one extreme to another.
Yeah, well, because like when we started dating back in January, it was already week 1 of growing the beard.
Okay.
So like I already had like a full
Oh,
if
so you kept that going from January.
yeah
Oh man.
I had a full if a little bit short beard.
Whew.
And I also had just gotten a haircut like 2 weeks prior, also in January. So from January 14th to 6 months later, I did not get a haircut or a shave.
Oh my God. Okay.
So just like complete, just all of it just taken off. Got the hot towel, the shampoo, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Do you normally wait 6 months before your next?
sometimes
Okay.
it depends on how the winter is.
I mean, if you can pull off the look.
It really depends on how winter is. Like
Okay.
if it's a harsh, cold winter and I've been sick, and like then yeah, totally we'll go that route. If it's a tame winter, then no, I'll get it cut immediately.
Cool.
Uh,
Interesting.
so yeah.
What else you been up to?
Then I did the standard Father's Day card hunt, but for my grandfather, because my dad,
Yep.
nothing.
Yep.
And then went to a fighting game tournament thing.
Cool. What was that like?
So we do a bi-weekly meetup thing here in Reno for the fighting game community, and um, I mainly go there to play casuals and hang out.
All right.
I rarely enter the tournaments because like one of the games I play doesn't have a tournament. The other game I play, there's like a 25% chance I'd ever win.
Ah.
So it's yeah.
What's that game?
That would be Dead or Alive and Dragon Ball Fighters. But
Okay.
in Dead or Alive casuals, because there are casuals, they have casuals for every game. I ended up going 15-1.
Damn. Okay. Well.
I was just stomping fools.
Is there no intermediate
Like,
bracket branch of that? Because
uh,
it seems like you've graduated from casual.
well, okay. So what casuals are is they're not money matches. They're not they're literally just like anyone plays anyone. It's just for fun.
Oh, okay. All right. It's not like a skill level thing. It's just, are you playing for money or not?
It's like, are you playing for money or pride, or are you just here to dick around?
Oh, okay. So that makes more sense.
Yeah. So and I was just here to have fun, and I just rode a train on people.
And you had fun.
I did. So and I'll enter, once again, if DOA had tournaments, I totally enter. It's just that they don't. So it's like, all right, well.
Right.
I actually met 2 dudes who were completely new to the scene last night, and they entered the tournament for their primary games, and then they entered the tournament for Under Night in Birth, and which like only one of them had played before. And I'm like, why did you enter a tournament for a game you've never played? And he's like, oh,
Why
sounds like
not?
it's like, oh, sounds like it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, they were nice guys. I had a fun time, had some ice cream, and then came home and was just exhausted. Because at some point in there, I also went grocery shopping. So I was just like, I literally just like sat down in my chair and was just like, oh, thank
Yep.
Christ.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ugh. Well, cool. 15-1.
Yeah. No, it was a good set.
What's the minimum bet in the other?
So to enter a tournament, it's $5 unless you register early, in which it's $3.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a pot for first, second, and third.
Cool. Okay, that's not so bad.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But like, do they choose a different game each week or something like that?
So they have multiple tournaments every week, and just it depends on what bracket you're in. So, for example, the first tournaments this week were Under Night in Birth and Mortal Kombat, the new one, and then the next one was going to be Tekken and Street Fighter, and then Dragon Ball and some other game. That's another thing with Dragon Ball is like the bracket is always like mad late, and
great.
and I'm an old man, so like the thought of starting my bracket at like 10 at night is just exhausting to me.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great.
So I don't know. I have a lot of fun with it though. I can tell when I'm getting better because when I first started going to this stuff in January, dudes in the Dragon Ball community just smoked me. Just blew me out of the water, and now like a couple months in, like I'm winning fairly consistently. I'm those really high skilled guys. I'm starting to beat them more often. So
Okay, that's cool.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, no. Also, I've been covering doing the E3 recovery, like all the post show catch up.
Yep.
Of course, Giant Bomb's Phil Spencer interview.
Yep.
That has become my yearly favorite part of the show. Actually,
It's great.
yeah, that. I got to sit and listen to one of my favorite fighting game dudes talk about the Final Fantasy VII demo he played. Speaking of Final Fantasy VII, I think I'm gonna do a playthrough of it before the remake comes out.
That's probably a good thing to do.
Like, just so I know, it's like, all right, let me get this as much ingrained into my brain as possible before the remake takes over.
Be ready to really scrutinize it.
Yeah,
when it comes out.
Yeah, just be ready to pour over every inch of it. But no, I really like and like it's been a while since I've done a Final Fantasy VII run. Like I thought about when's the last time I did a full run of Final Fantasy VII, and it was in high school.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it's not like Ocarina where it was like a year and a half ago. It's like this was, yeah.
Well, yeah.
So
I would understand. So, but yeah, I think we were talking about it last time about playing the next Final Fantasy VII remake. So you're thinking, yeah, you're gonna play it.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna play the remake.
Yeah.
But I'm probably considering here. I'm like, well, the original's on Switch, and I got some traveling coming up, and I like watching TV with my roommate or my girlfriend, and that's kind of like the perfect game to do that with, because I just grind and still focus on Black Mirror or Love, Death, and Robots or whatever it is we're watching.
Sure.
So I don't know. That's been a thing.
Okay.
Speaking of Final Fantasy VII, we got a little bit of news regarding that.
Okay.
They say Final Fantasy VII Remake should be playable on PS5, Square Enix says.
I don't see why not.
Let's see. They said, initially the game will not consist of the full FF7 story. It focuses on Midgar portion, As such, even with the release coming in early 2020, it could be much longer before the complete experience is delivered. Go team.
Yeah.
As we discussed in our E3 stuff. Go team. But the game only ever playable on PS4. That didn't appear to be the case, suggesting Square Enix representing a Square Enix representative said, suggesting the game will be playable on PS5. Quote, I believe our current teams have made so the game will support both the next generation and current generation of consoles. The company's president and CEO, Yosuke Matsuda, told Game Informer, I believe it's being developed so that it's going to be playable on both. So I'm not really concerned about that, and I believe that fans are also going to be able to enjoy it on both, including the next generation of consoles. So I have a very good question.
All right.
So you obviously want to play, like, if you are the Final Fantasy fan who is, like, enamored with this game to this point, why wouldn't you just, I don't know, wait for the full experience to be out on PS5? Or Scarlet, depending on which is the more powerful box.
Because you want to experience it immediately.
But it's not going to be the full game.
Yeah, well,
It's going to be what? Well, hold on. Let me look up an FF7 guide. It's been, once again, it has been, oh god, almost a decade since my last Final Fantasy VII run.
sure.
So let's see. Shinra cargo ship, Rocketown. Yeah, so you're basically getting like a fifth of that game if
Yep.
it's broken down by chapter. Like, what?
Yep.
Like, what is happening?
It takes a lot, I guess. It's a lot of game.
This game has been worked on since 2014, and it's
Yep.
getting a fifth of it done.
Yep.
Fucking what?
It's yeah. Well, and they're also planning on selling each of these at $60, right?
Yeah, they are.
Like, that's the thing. That's my one concern is that money.
Yeah, it's like,
Like-
okay, so let's say we get it in 4 parts. That's a $240 video game.
Yep.
What the fuck?
And that's if you don't go buy the complete edition when it comes out.
So $320 because they're $80 a piece, or these giant collector's editions with the figures. Now Ray did tell me about, like, Ray gave me an example of one figure I would buy.
Okay.
All right, he's like, all right, I got a collector's edition I know you'll buy for sure. And I'm like, all right, sell me, sir. Sell me on your grand vision. And I'm like, all right. He's like, all right, you have Aerith sitting there.
Oh God.
And it is literally, and like Sephiroth literally impaling her.
Yep.
And like if you press a button, you can see it happen, like, in the figures, like they're mechanical.
Like the arms are mechanical and it pulls out and goes. Oh my God.
Yeah, and I was just like, you're right. I would pay $300 for that. I would have that be the centerpiece of, like, all my figure bullshit that I have on my desk. Like, I have a Master Chief helmet. I have all these amiibos. I'm probably gonna have a Doom Guy helmet by the end of this year. But
Hang on, I'm writing down a business idea.
all right.
Just figurines that act out momentous moments in video games.
Okay, that's actually not the worst idea.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of other ones. Throwing the portal cube into the fire.
Oh, Portal to the Moon. I don't know how you get that one to work, but cool.
You put the cube in the incinerator. It fall like, and then at the end of it, like the incinerator thing has like an LED light and it simulates fire and it glows out of the incinerator. I don't know. I'm gonna have to workshop this. Metal Gear Solid has a few.
But yeah, like Metal Gear. Like I want funny ones though. Like I want the one where like Johnny has to like go poo in a barrel at the beginning of Metal Gear 4.
That's a lot of money for that joke.
Yeah, but no, just give me like Square if you're listening. This is $330 at least from me because this does have. I think Aerith does. Does she bite at the end of disc 1 or disc 2? Yeah, either way, like just a figure of Sephiroth falling down, stabbing her through the gut.
Yep.
I will happily pay for that Play Arts Kai. You will have a customer for the first 2 parts of this. So.
Wait, so that's the first figure. Then the next figure is, or the first figure should be just Cloud cross-dressing.
Yeah, okay. I would have probably pre-ordered that instead of not doing anything with this game yet.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you sold me.
I know almost nothing else about Final Fantasy VII other than those 2 things.
That's all you. There's a snowboarding part.
What? Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's cool. I hope it ends up in the final version. I'd play that.
Yeah. It's. I don't know. I'm excited for this game, but money's going to be a problem.
Like, I'm excited just on the fact that, like, I want to see what this game looks like after 22 years or 23 years and like more money than God.
Yep. Looks super cool, but I really do think they're going to have to find another way to price this because I just don't see, like, except for like Final Fantasy fans with money being able to keep up with this.
Well, I don't. The thing is, like, I think there's gonna be long gaps between the episodes.
Like, are you thinking like years?
I think a year at least.
Yeah.
Like, I think we are gonna, like, because okay, let's say the engine is built now and all the writing is done. Now they're just like making levels and recording shit. That's still a lot of content.
Yep.
And like, yeah, I could totally be like, see, like, April 5th, 2021, get part 2.
So like, but then they say like that first part's gonna be 2 discs, right?
Yeah, which means that first part is 100 gigs.
So at this point, they've got to be betting on. I would hope someone is working on creating like the next Blu-ray because a 10-disc set for a game seems ridiculous.
My God, I hope that's the case.
That's a little. I'm sure there have been games that have had tons of discs, but
I want this to be the most absurd game in the history of video games. I want it to be 5 parts, 5 collector's editions that are all $300. I want it to be fucking 10 discs. I want this so bad.
It just seems ridiculous. I want it to succeed, but it just seems like too much right now.
Right. No. Well, especially because like the Final Fantasy name is just like in such a weird place right now. Like it's still like in a good place, but it's not.
It's in a good place, but it's like, yeah, what you're saying is
it's not like what it was. Like I think back to like when I was playing Final Fantasy, like that franchise could do no wrong. Like
right.
Like back when I played Final Fantasy, it was just like, fuck yeah, 10, 9, 8, 7, all these golden experiences, you know. And then like 12 came out, and it was like, okay. You know, and then like Crisis Core came out, it was amazing. But everything between like Crisis Core and 15 up until 15 is a massive pile of shit.
Well, it is certainly split fans, for sure.
Outside of a couple of the spin-offs, I should say.
Right. Well, they're also big fans of 13.
Yeah, those are crazy people.
Oh. Yeah.
That is a game that plays itself. That is a game that literally plays itself.
They got some good character designs.
They do. I used to have a Lightning play art. Because I liked the characters that like I remember like Like, I remember, like, with that game, when it came out, I was, like, super excited, but I was also, like, it was the last game I was going to buy because that game came out the same week as God of War 3 and Yakuza 3. And,
Yeah.
like, I wanted to give Yakuza 3 a shot because it looked weird and awesome, and I was right. And then also, I wanted to. And then God of War 3 was just. Oh.
That was great.
That game, like, scale, dude. Like, there are, like, imagery. There's still imagery from that game that occasionally just pops up into my mind.
Oh, the whole Chronos
The
level.
the Kronos level, the scene where he literally just punches Hercules' face until there's just a red blur left.
That was honestly, to me, it was a very satisfying ending.
It was. Which is like, until I played it, I was like super against this new God of War and very butthurt about it.
Yeah.
And then I played it and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, you can make more of these, bro. All right.
Yeah.
You know, like, the new one's really good. Like, they actually develop Kratos as, like, a character. They, like, do some cool shit with, like, how, like, he feels guilty and, like, wants to be better for his son and, like, wants his son to be better but doesn't, like, know how to do that because he's Kratos.
Right.
Um,
God of War 3 was a good end to that era of God of War.
yeah, it is a shame that we got Ascension and what was it? It was Ascension and Ghost of Sparta afterwards. Ghost of Sparta less so because it's like, okay, you know, we get a little backstory about his brother and we get a little bit of it's a PSP game, so like not everyone's gonna play it, but
Right.
like Ascension. And great, my watch went off. Awesome. Um, but no, like, and I remember the what was it? I remember like playing Ascension, and that was when you were still at the Gamer Access. That game, that's when that game.
I
Came out.
remember watching one of you guys play that.
Yeah, I remember we played that at CES, and I remember thinking to myself, man, this, like, it's really hard to go back to this after you kill Zeus.
Well, right. Like, it capped everything. And also, if I remember correctly about that ending, there's nothing to go forward with.
Well, it's because the ending was a flash forward piece. But it's like this game was a prequel. So Ascension was a prequel. Like it was like pre Kratos being like fully Ares flunky.
Oh, right.
You know. At
Yep.
least I think I'm remembering that right.
I know.
I don't know. That game was very forgettable. Like I wanted to like it as someone who's loved the entire God of War franchise up until that point. But like that, let's put it this way: I was a God of War like nut. Like I have the first God of War signed by David Jaffe.
Okay.
You know, like I loved 2 and 3 and like even those PSP games. But like Ascension came out and like it single-handedly made me stop giving a shit about God of War.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
And when they announced like the new one, like I was like, oh, okay, I'm glad they're taking it to Norse mythology and this other stuff. But I'm also like very, very like indifferent to the idea of like more Kratos until like they sold me on it through the game itself.
Okay.
Yeah, have you played the new one yet?
No, I haven't. I've been wanting to check it out. I hear a lot of good things about it.
Yeah, that if you want to see Kratos develop as a person, that is a game for you.
That's not something I was asking for, and that's like why I was never like jumping at the bit to play this game. Because again, I was in that mode where like God of War 3 ended it so perfectly. I don't know where you go from there. But from what I heard of the gameplay and just the world that you're in, it sounds very interesting.
Norse mythology is cool.
Turns out.
Yeah.
And also, I bet you Kratos fits right in.
Like kinda.
But kind of not.
Yeah, like he's very much like the new boy here. Like
Sure.
he has to ask his son for a lot of help, especially because he can't like read
Oh, okay.
because he can only read Greek.
That's one thing I know about that game is read it, boy.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I've been wanting to go back and 100% it, so we'll see.
I would like to play it at some point.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens here.
I hear other than like so you can go and fight the Valkyries in that game.
Oh,
Yeah, and like other than that, it's a fairly easy platinum. So we'll see. Final Fantasy VII though, I'll let you know how my run of that goes.
sure. That's something I may try to do at some point here as well.
It's on sale on the Switch shop for $13, I believe, right now.
Okay.
And then I was just like, well, I have a bunch of like gold coins saved up, so for me that'd be like $8. So,
Is that a good streaming game, you think?
I think that I had a friend who streamed. So it depends on what kind of streamer you are, because like it's a super long game. So if you do a lot of streams for a long period of time, absolutely.
Okay.
But if you're like me, where your schedule's weird and it's hard to do so, then probably not.
Okay.
Like my friend Lexi, she streams 10 hours a day, 3 days a week.
Ooh.
So for her, she beat that game in a month.
Right. God damn.
So I don't know. She's doing 10 next, I believe.
Wow.
So
All right. Something I'm considering, but we'll see. Because
yeah,
I've never played it, so.
yeah, absolutely. Next news story we have is new.
Oh, real quick. Breaking news. Splatoon 2 Splatfest has come to a close, and in a final vote of 0-3 in all categories, Narwhal beat Unicorn, the fuckers.
Damn it!
Uh,
Damn it!
the Unicorns 39%, Narwhal 60% in votes.
Damn.
And then in terms of performance, Narwhal just barely beat Unicorn, like 50-49%, and in normal, and then in pro 51-48.
I should have done my part for Team Unicorn. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you should have. Where were you, man? We needed you.
I played a bunch of matches when my girlfriend was over and we won. So I mean,
Well, then you did your part. You're good.
you know, so
Yeah.
because she wanted to see what that game was all about, and she liked it. So
It's a cool game,
Cool.
but like gameplay wise, as someone who's not very good at it, I'm like trying to cover ground, but then like the objective is obviously not to get kills, but then when you get killed more than you kill,
yeah,
it'll feel frustrating even if you win.
right. I have found my own sneaky tactics for that game to make it less frustrating.
Okay.
You know, like my favorite one is like finding someone who has like a paint roller and getting behind them and just undoing all their work as they're doing it.
Yep. That's always a good one.
Shit's hilarious every time. So,
yeah.
a couple pieces of Nintendo news here, other than the fact that they won E3, is that they're moving their production facilities from China to Southeast Asia. Due to the tariffs put on by proposed import tax rate of 25% to China. So that means any import from China would receive a 25% tax. Then Nintendo has elected to move their production facility to Southeast Asia. And with it, they are also, what was also leaked from that is they are apparently working on new Switch models.
Oh, right.
So, so this has been rumored pretty much all year. They said they are, one is said to have a similar form factor but feature better components with, and the other is expected to have a different look and a lower spec but be less expensive.
Interesting.
So, I mean, okay. The tariffs thing makes sense. Like, duh, that's what companies do.
Yeah.
I would be down for like a Switch Pro. Um,
I I have a Switch.
okay, well, so here's my complaint though. Like, I have a couple of complaints about the Switch that could easily be fixed in the Switch Pro.
Okay.
One, more built-in memory and cheaper memory. That thing comes with 32 gigs. Half of that gets eaten up by Zelda.
Yeah.
Alright, boom, done. Next up, a better battery.
I have to admit I have not taken it on the go a whole lot recently. At least, how long does it last for you?
If I am playing a game like Zelda, just under 3 hours.
Okay.
So if you're
Not exactly a road trip.
yeah, like I'm very well aware that on my plane flight I'm gonna have to have a battery bank. So that's obnoxious and annoying. I wish that I wish that on the Joy-Con there was a regular D-pad.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, that's basically be my wish. Like, I don't want it to. I actually don't want it to be more powerful, just because like that's gonna split the market, and you're gonna have like the problem that you had with the N64, where it's like, buy the expansion pack, and like all of 4 games will support it.
Right. Well, I mean, with an upgraded Switch, you could play games like Mortal Kombat and Witcher 3 and maybe not have to suffer any graphical issues like some people seem to be
Right, but
experiencing.
right, but it's like how well is that going to be supported? Because like the N64 had that, and like 4 games supported it.
Yeah.
And the 3DS had that. I have one. I have a gold new. I have the Majora's Mask new 3DS XL. There's like 2 games that support like the like only on the new one because of frame rates and whatnot. And then the Sega Saturn, it's like, hey, first off, it's the Sega Saturn. That should tell you everything about how good of an idea this is. And 2, it's like it was only for Capcom fighting games to get the frame rate right and whatnot. Which that's awesome. Like, I'm glad that we got as close to the arcade as we could get. But on the other side of that, I'm just like, this really sucks for like every other version of this game on console. So the PS1 version looks like garbage in comparison. But like 2, the fact that you just need to buy a Sega Saturn and then a bunch of RAM upgrades.
Right.
I don't know. And that it's just all these like the only one of these mid-generation splits that has not felt weird to me has been the Xbox One X. Because it's like, okay, we went back and made a bunch of games 4K.
Sure.
Like they did their they're like, hey man, we went all the way back to Halo 3 and made Halo 3 4K. Like get on our level. Like, they went back, they did the work, a bunch of they put a bunch of games, made them 4K. They made all their new games 4K. Like they lived up to the promise of like, hey, do you want the best experience you can get on a technical level from a console? Here you go.
Right.
And how whether people want that or not, I don't know.
That's the most interesting question about this that I am interested in hearing responses as this develops.
Because apparently the Xbox One X sold well enough to where they're like, we double down on it.
Right.
Like that. So.
Which I was looking at, again, that press conference, I was looking at Xboxes, and we're already talking about the next Xbox, and like, yeah, One X is like $400.
Yeah, as
like,
yeah, like like I bought that thing like 2 months after launch. So,
right.
like, yeah, it was a smart decision at the time.
Yep.
And also, I needed a 4K Blu-ray player, and it was not much more expensive than other 4K Blu-ray players. But also was an Xbox.
Right.
So, yeah, it was like... And, like, my opinion is, like, yeah, the faster load times are nice, the better-looking games are nice, the option that if I'm on a 1080p screen, some games offer me higher frame rate. That is super nice.
Yep.
I have actually, I before I've always said this. I'll take frame rate over more graphical fidelity any day
Sure.
in most cases. And like when the PS4 Pro came out, I remember saying like, if you just give me the option to just stay at 1080p 60 while you go ahead and turn on all these graphical effects and whatnot, I would adore that, and I love it when games do that. Like for example, the Tomb Raider games do that.
Okay.
They say here, turn we're gonna like pump the we're gonna drop the resolution down to 1080p native instead of 4K or some checkerboarded version of 1440p. We're gonna scale back some of the effects so you can get this at 60.
Yep.
Um, and I really appreciate that. Like that is and I realize like Anthony and I, our friend Anthony Ta of Roving Dumpster Fire fame,
Yeah.
which is starting soon. Uh,
Roving Dumpster Fire. You can find them on the internet.
Yeah, go look up Roving Dumpster Fire on YouTube. They'll be. I'm not sure if they'll be up. As they're recording this weekend. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see if they get up. We'll definitely let you know. I'll tweet out when they're alive.
We'll plug them later.
Yeah.
We're just plugging now.
Yeah. Plug
Planting the seed.
Yeah, just planting the seed if you're going to watch our friends Let's Play because we don't want to anymore.
Yep.
So, anyway, he brought up like, man, these consoles are becoming more and more like PCs.
Yeah.
Like that, this generation in particular. I'm just like, these are just shitty PCs. Like they run on PC architecture x86.
Yep.
They have all the problems. They have a mid-cycle upgrade. Like, nah, bro, these things are PC. Especially now that you look at how many games are like actually exclusive.
Right.
Last year, 2, God of War, Spider-Man. The year before that, Uncharted Lost Legacy, Persona.
This is
Horizon.
PS4.
PS4.
Okay.
Uncharted Lost Legacy, Persona Horizon. Year before that, Last Guardian.
Yeah.
And Nitro plus Blasters, Uncharted 4. Year before that, Uncharted Collection, Bloodborne.
These aren't the only exclusives, are they?
They are! So I bought most of the PlayStation exclusives. And of course, sorry, I forgot about downloadable games. Resogun, Killzone.
There you go. Okay.
Infamous Second Son.
Yeah.
So I'm like, those are all great games, but it's like, that's not like, it's not enough for me to be like, man, new box.
Right. So I wanted to ask you, where do you think this goes? Where do you think these companies go in the future as they develop new consoles? Like, is a console a box that you buy separately from a PC in the future, you think?
So I think that for the hardcore gamers, no. I think for the really hardcore guys, like, we're just going to all move to PC. Most of us, anyway. Because in the long run, for us, it's cheaper because games are cheaper. They look better. You have more options. You like on a PC, I can use any controller I want. I can use I can use key sites or other gray market options to buy my games. The games themselves are cheaper. I have way more store options for digital. And honestly, like, if you're in the case of where my PC is, like, I don't know what specs are going to run Cyberpunk 2077, but I have a good feeling my game will run it as well as the consoles will.
Right.
So
I'm just thinking, like, will there be enough money in buying, a specific box from Sony or Microsoft in the future? Because them going to PC, is great and all, but if they start losing people to just the PC in general, like, Xbox isn't necessarily going to care, but Sony will.
Yeah, I think that Sony is eventually going to have to do the Game Pass dance.
You think?
I think that okay. So there's always going to be a market for people who want to go out and buy box to play video game.
Okay.
Like, I always think that is going to be a thing. Like, there's always going to be a market for, here, let me buy this Xbox One X, or this PS4 Pro, or this Xbox S, or PS4 Slim, and put it on my TV and play the video game.
Okay.
The difference is right now, Microsoft is saying, hey, you can do that. And that's great. I'm glad you can. Yeah, I'm glad. Go ahead. Go nuts. You can, you can also pay us $15 a month, or 10 actually in some cases.
Yep.
To get 200 games, all on, and then also if you had an Xbox 360 or an Xbox One, all of your purchases carry over.
Right.
Like that or like most, because not all, but like most carry over. And I think that's a very compelling argument for a lot of consumers, to where like you essentially get the Netflix of video games with your video game box, versus Sony, where it's you pay for your $400 to $500 and then you're paying anywhere from $30 to $70 a pop per game.
Right.
And then, like, people bring up Sony first-party studios. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, once again, I'm looking directly at my PS4 collection. I'll tell you the exclusives that I have. Spider-Man, God of War, Detroit got ported to PC, so not anymore. Shadow of the Colossus, I'll count it. Uncharted Lost Legacy, Persona 5, Horizon, Last Guardian, Ratchet & Clank, Uncharted 4, Uncharted Lost Legacy, or not Lost Legacy, Collection, sorry. Bloodborne, Killzone Infamous. So 13 games. 13 games over and then we'll count their upcoming titles, their big three that are in the waiting. So 16 games over 7 years, we'll say, by the end of this generation, right?
Okay.
And you're looking at 16 games. It's like, well, okay. First off, not everyone's going to love all 16 of those games.
Of course not.
I own them, and I can tell you right now, I'm not big on Last Guardian. I didn't care for Horizon all that much. Killzone was fine. Like, it was a good launch title. And I think everything David Cage touches is awful. So, take that how you will. But it's like, okay, so let's say for the average consumer, you like half of them. Is 8 games really enough to get you away from the box, who is the Netflix of games, who also, if you don't own a PC, has a bunch of shit you can't play anywhere else?
Right.
Like, I'll load up Gamekast right now on my PC, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, you can't play Sea of Thieves anywhere else. Which, game isn't great, but if you have friends to play it with, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Gears 4, Forza Horizon 4 are both top, like, peaks of their franchises, almost, I would say. Great game. Okay. Hellblade, not exclusive, but, once again, $5-10 a month versus $60, $20, $40.
Yep.
So I don't I don't see how Sony will have to pivot, I think. I really do.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Especially as this transition to the next generation, if it keeps going the direction it seems to be going, and they will absolutely have to.
Like, I don't know how, and then Microsoft in particular, I think Sony will also have to do the PC dance because of people like us. Because, okay, I have friends who totally only play on console, right?
Yeah,
I know those people. Um, and they want to play with us, which that's great. I love crossplay.
of course.
But Sony will have to play that dance. It's
Yeah.
like because it's like gear. Let's say Halo Infinite. Let's say Halo Infinite is everything we've ever dreamed of since Halo 3.
Yep.
And we're all playing Halo Infinite. Be it I'm on my PC, my friend who's on my loves console is on his Xbox, and we're playing. That's the expectation now.
Right.
And I've been saying this since Microsoft announced, since last E3. Last E3, when Microsoft said, hey, we bought these 10 studios, and since have bought more, by the way,
Right.
we're making a mega studio.
Yep.
And then on top of that, all of those first party games are day one on Game Pass. The second they said that shit, I knew exactly what they were doing.
Right.
I'm like, you're gonna be Netflix.
Yep.
You are Netflix of video games now. It's just like because Netflix has great programming, right? A
Right.
lot of people I keep my Netflix. Black Mirror. I love Black Mirror. I'm not gonna
Sure.
cancel my Netflix. I'm gonna watch Black Mirror day one it comes out. Same thing with BoJack Horseman.
Sure.
Same thing with myriad of other shows on there. So, in their case, it's like, oh well, dude, Halo. It's like, it's $10 a month. I get my Halo day one.
Right.
I get my new game by the Initiative. I get my Gears, my
Yep.
Forza, etc., etc. The real secret here, though, that I think Microsoft is going to have to balance is getting third parties on board. Now, they've had a lot of success of that on the console version of Game Pass. But looking at the PC version of Game Pass, not as much.
Okay.
There's some success here. They got Tomb Raider, they got Wolfenstein, they got some stuff, but it's not as pronounced as on the Xbox, where it's like, hey, we got Oblivion and Devil May Cry and all this other stuff.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't see how Sony doesn't make a move like this. Unless they're showing us something that's just so ahead of the curve that we couldn't fathom it.
Right. And it sounds like the big push that's going to be coming in the next decade is pushing everything towards streaming your games from a server far away, not even having a box, really.
Right, but I remember that recent Phil Spencer interview. He said, look, man, the best way to play a game right now and then for the foreseeable future is on a local box,
Yes.
connected, that is played off of a hard drive or disc.
Yes.
Um,
But it seems like we're starting to get people researching getting streaming down just right.
right, but I just don't think that there's the infrastructure for it in most parts of the country.
Well, right now, yeah.
I think that we're another.
If we could fix that,
I think
that'd be cool.
I think we're 10 to 20 years away from that point. And it's getting better, but then I point out last night where it got too hot, so the thing overloaded in my neighborhood, and everyone's internet reset twice.
Cool.
Great.
Yeah.
No.
No, for the foreseeable future right now, we need something here. We need to install these games and play them from here. But I'm wondering if they're looking at that and considering that in their console plans. Obviously, Phil Spencer said they're not planning on this being the last box. But that talk's going around.
Oh yeah, no. I think that, and I don't think it's the last box. I think that these boxes were supposed to be the last box, right? And then this box is supposed to be the last box. I think that it's going internet needs to get to the point of where I can be anywhere on my phone and not have a problem.
Right.
And even in Reno, which is fairly developed and
Yeah.
has like, we're in a valley, so it's not hard to get signal here. Like it fucking beams right. Like just put towers up in the mountains and just beam down. You
Yep.
know, I have connection problems in parts of town.
Sure.
Like I go to the south end of town. I'm at my favorite Mexican restaurant. I barely have signal.
Uh,
You know, like and there are several different cases of this, and like you said, like what'd you say your down was like 30?
oh God, no! It's like 12 at best.
Yeah, you're 12 down and probably one up in
Yep.
downtown Seattle.
Yep.
Like what the fuck?
Well, I also suspect that might be some artificial boundaries.
Right, right, and I also think the part of it is the cable company going like, okay, we can't have everyone who lives in the really probably overpopulated downtown Seattle area going online at the same fucking time, you know,
Right.
or burning up that much bandwidth. Just like how AT&T out here offers fiber. When I was so ready to make that move, I was like, "Oh, dude, I'll get a discount because I have their cell phone service." And then I looked, and it was just like, "Yo, but we have a data cap."
Yeah.
And I was like, "You know what? No, I'm good."
Exactly. So.
And then also there's data caps. There are parts of the country, like say Georgia, for example, there are a lot of places that have hardcore data caps, and like. To stream 1080p, like to stream like 1080p video game for like an hour, it's like 100 gigs.
Oh my God.
You know, so like, and my watch went off. Great.
Our third guest, Bronson's watch, everyone.
Yeah, sorry everyone. Smartwatches, when I leave my wrist a certain way, it like pops off. But yeah, so it's this thing where you have where like there's just so many limitations in place. Like that's like when I had this dude who's a friend of mine, and actually I believe he subscribed to the show. Talk about Google Stadia and about how he's super excited and all this tech behind and whatnot. And I'm like, yeah, dude, but you know, like to put this in perspective. You know, Microsoft did a demo of their xCloud thing in private, and from what I heard, it's like, okay, like, it's good enough-ish, and their version of this requires some level of local hardware, even.
Sure.
So, at this point, I'm just kind of like, this is a pipe dream that these companies want because it will be great for there's going to be a point where like this does exist and does a good job, and it's going to be awesome for consumers.
Sure.
Like it's going to be great for, I think it's going to be great, which, you know, that's who we advocate for as like interactive entertainment influencers.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, have to get rid of the old word.
Yes.
Yeah, but no, that's who essentially we advocate for as host of the show as the consumer. You know,
I sure hope so.
and because we are them, and it's this like it's like, yes, would I love to pay Google, you know, $40 a month and have access to all these games ever, and like to have no problems with it and everything be great? Yeah, that's awesome. But in the current market, this shit ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, no, right now it's not going to happen.
You know, it's just like, and also like, video game and like, Game Pass is currently ahead of the curve as being like the Netflix of games, but eventually we're gonna run into the problem that streaming services have right now.
Yeah,
Which
that's true.
you're gonna have like, you have your Netflix account and you have your Amazon Prime account and you have your Hulu account and you may have HBO Go if you like the Game of Thrones. And then you have there's one more that my roommate has, I believe. I forget.
CBS All Access.
Yeah, you could have that. You could have the NFL, All Access.
Oh yeah, the NFL.
You know,
Yeah, all the sports.
Yeah, so it's just like, Now there are ways to cut down on this because like my roommate and I had a discussion where it's just like, okay, what do we find essential?
Right.
The first one we found essential was Amazon Prime because Amazon Prime you get that 1 day shipping, you get all those other benefits with it, and the TV stuff is it's generally pretty good.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, the next one essential, Netflix and Hulu. That covers all your bases for TV, original content, etc. And then like when Disney Plus hits, we agreed to Disney Plus, and that was it.
Okay.
Like that was the field we trimmed.
Just like with the games, you got to make some choices.
Yeah, well, just like how like in this horrible nightmare future where every major publisher has one of these or most of them. So I'm gonna say everyone who has an E3 press conference is gonna have one of these services.
Sure.
All right, I'm telling you right now the ones I'm getting. I'm getting the Microsoft and Sony one.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna say Nintendo never does this and just keeps doing what they do.
I mean, that seems to be the way they go.
So like I'm gonna so we're not gonna count Nintendo. I get the Sony and the Microsoft one, and then I subscribe to the Square one when they have something I want, and then same thing with Bethesda, and then that's it. And then also for and then also back to the Google Stadia thing, the internet thing. Like, dude, fighting games, shooters, like, come on now.
You better have that down, otherwise there's no point in me getting it.
Yeah, like those are the two genres I play the most.
Yeah.
And then third is like character action games like Bayonetta and God of War. Like, yeah, if I was playing like mostly turn-based stuff like Persona and Final Fantasy, like Cuphead's would be impossible to play with a delay. Literally, like, just impossible. Like, there's no way you could do it. So yeah, like, no, man. Anyway, I know that you had some other stuff from E3 you wanted to discuss.
Did I? There was. I don't know. I've been watching the Pokemon Sword and Shield drama continue, but there's been no meaningful developments in that.
Yeah, I remember that. I was just, I remember that people talking about that. I'm just like, okay. Why do people care about this so much?
Because they want all their Pokemon on the latest Pokemon game, and I get it.
But you're gonna be able to have all these new Pokemon.
Yeah, but it'll be like 100 and something Pokemon, and you want to bring up your Gen 1 whatever.
That I've somehow carried it over from platform to platform all the way to the new one.
Right, or even like one of my favorite Pokemon is Absol, which is Gen 3. Like, I will never, well, as far as we know, we're never going to encounter an Absol in this new game. Now that bums me out, but they've also, I was talking with my friend Jerry about this, and they've totally left the door open saying that they haven't said it, but they could totally add in the rest of the Pokemon later on. And that's what's happened with prior games sometimes. And especially in times like these where you can just download an update to the game and, oh, geez, this generation of Pokemon's now in. And things like that. And there's a lot that could still be done, but they're just not communicating super well.
Yeah, so
we're kind of just watching the Pokemon subreddit tear itself apart over it. We got a boycott that is being organized that I'm not a part of, but,
great.
They feel that strongly about it, sure.
Winners all around, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's fun, I'll say, watching them get worked up about it. In the same way, a lot of games in recent years, people will just get organized in some group chat or forum and are like talking about pros and cons of a game, and like we just want the game to succeed, and here's a list of people that are of arguments from people that defend Game Freak, and here are my responses to those things, and it's like so I don't know, nothing's changed yet. but we'll see. There's a real healthy conversation. Like, there's some like shitty stuff going on, but there's a real healthy conversation on like, man, give me an option to not have the tutorials in the beginning of a game. I know what Pokemon is. Please let me just do it.
I would kill. Like, you want to get me back on Pokemon so fucking hard. If they just had like a difficulty option where it's like, dude, I've been playing JRPGs since I was like 9. Fuck me up, fam.
Like, the thing is, Pokemon is supposed to be targeted towards children. It's a game about learning how to grow as a person, explore places, try things, and find out what works for you. So I understand why it's targeted at them. But the people you originally targeted are grown up now, and they still love what you put out. They can't, but they don't want to sit through all of the hand holding that happens at the beginning, and things like that. Just give them an option to jump in, and have a difficulty option. Have an option where even like when you start easy and you go through, have an option like a new game plus where you can go through on a harder difficulty. There's a lot that can be done there. It's just that Game Freak's have just been in their set in their ways of making the same template of Pokemon, which is fine to a point.
But like, and like, they have had no reason not to, because like, what are you gonna do? Go play a Digimon game?
Right, exactly. No, I'm gonna buy this game. Even if it's just more Pokemon, that's what it is. That's what I signed up for. But
I know
there's a lot of things I could do.
It's like, I know what I'm about, son.
About exploring this new region, thwarting whatever criminal organization we're dealing with, and collecting new Pokemon, finding which ones I like, which ones I don't, getting the gym badges, beating the Elite Four, having a great time, petting my Pikachu.
Right, which, okay, fine.
Yeah,
like,
but there's a lot more we could be doing.
Yeah, and like, it's such a cool idea, Pokemon.
Yep.
You want to know, it was actually a really good game, though, that was very, like, Pokemon-esque, but it was a Digimon game.
Okay.
It was called Digimon Cyber Sleuth. It was on the PS4 and the Vita. If you want a Pokemon game, but with Digimon, this is your chance. It's actually really good.
Okay.
Like, it was like Ray's Game of the Year like 2 years ago.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And
that's right, yeah.
And he has a Pokemon sleeve, so there you go. There you go. So, speaking of E3 and its inevitable death, we have an article here from Phil Spencer. A comment from Phil Spencer says, Sony, E3 is better with Sony and PlayStation there, Xbox says. During appearing on his Giant Bomb live stream, Spencer spoke about the ongoing relevance of E3, and he said that the show's profile is hurt by Activision and Sony not being there. Quote, I wish Sony was here. E3 is not as good when they're not here. And Spencer said about Sony and Activision dropping out of the big annual show. E3 remains. He also said E3 remains relevant and important to the gaming world. It's in a time of year where the whole world is watching gaming, and it's very important when the industry is coming under criticism and judgment. One recent threat, Spencer said that the World Health Organization designation of gaming disorder is a recognized disease. And that's basically it. Explaining why it didn't come to E3, Sony said it wanted to, quote, innovate, think differently, and experiment with new ways to delight gamers. It shared the first details about its next generation PS5 ahead of the show. It showcased Death Stranding both on an extended trailer and release date. But beyond that, it's unclear whether we'll get details about other big first-party PS4 games, such as Last of Us 2 or Ghost of Tsushima, anytime soon.
Right. Makes sense.
I don't know, dude. I saw, like, I thought several people say the show floor was more dead than normal this year. I remember I showed Ray footage of the show floor, and he said, like, dude, that's like half as many people as when you and I were last there.
Sure.
And I know Brian Altano of IGN tweeted out like, "Oh, dude, like I think that E3 is so important. It needs to stay because of the culture where you get everyone in the game industry together to meet up and talk and like hang out and like yeah, the announcements are important and everything, but like this stuff's what it's really about." And I just like I remember I tweeted at him. I'm like, "You mean like at PAX?"
Well, I don't know. If they made PAX one where they like put like announcements and all that, like maybe sure.
PAX East is kind of becoming that.
Is it?
Like they keep announcing shit at PAX East. So I mean, I don't know. I think that you could do that with PAX East. I really
I
do.
yeah. I want something. I would like to see with E3 going the way things are going with like a Nintendo Direct and things like that. I would love to see them doing like digital conferences, uh, all online in this like one weekend, and then like everyone's like jumping on the official Discords and chatting with people at Xbox about games or something like that. I don't think they'd want to do that, but
I mean, like, okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find my response to this because it was a little while. Let's see. I don't want E3 to die because it's something special, but I do want to solve its identity crisis. I wish it wasn't prohibitively expensive for exhibitors and that fans had 10 times more stuff to do, play, buy, and experience to justify the entry fees. We'll see what happens. And my response to that was, you mean like PAX?
well, yeah.
Yeah, like, and like or no, I actually so you want PAX? Question mark?
Eh.
And like it's what it is. It's it's like E3 is a vehicle. It's like okay, so you want 10 times more stuff to do. PAX free play, PAX tournaments, PAX bring your own computer,
That's definitely PAX is definitely the place to do more things
pa-
if you're the consumer.
panels, etc. Prohibitively expensive for exhibitors. I mean, in a lot of cases, Penny Arcade pays them to be there. Or just lets them, or just rents the space for them. If anything, they reuse their E3 booth in a lot of cases. Identity crisis. Okay, that is a big one for E3. I will give you
That
that
is a
one.
big one.
Yeah. Okay. So, before this, he actually tweeted, "E3 is a vehicle for video game announcements and surprises. Felt as big as always. E3 is a physical convention. Felt like a shopping mall after 2 or 3 big department stores closed down. Fewer crowds, fewer booths, more empty space in the margins. The show is definitely shrinking. It's still business as usual for press outlets, but fans spend hundreds of dollars to come to this place." Where there's less to do, the lines for the few big games are long, and the sandwiches are $16. E3 needs to change to cater to fans more, or it needs to be free for everyone. um, so I'm gonna give everyone a pro tip for E3 if they go in person. Um, don't go to the cafeteria; it's awful and overpriced.
Sure.
Literally right around the corner outside are tons of food trucks where you pay about the same and in some cases a little bit less and get way, way, way better food.
Okay.
So,
Well, there's that solved.
yeah. I have solved the $16 sandwich problem.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
You
Uh,
know, I I really enjoy E3 as this celebration that like we can enjoy around the world, like just watching streams of conferences and things like that. Um, and we just have this like weekend or a week uh, where we're all coming together to witness announcements and developments and talk about it. Um, and I would like to see that continue. I just don't know if that's at E3.
I don't either. And like it's obviously far cheaper for the companies just to go ahead and make a video and throw that shit up on our Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like it makes no sense for them to do any of this shit now. So it's just like I don't know. We'll see. I love the idea of like all the industry getting together to show stuff, but you know
Right. It was cool for a time,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Maybe they go back to they like split it in two, where they stream it, their announcement like video or whatever, to the internet, and they do like interacting with consumers on the internet, and then for the press, it goes back to what E3 was, where we just get in some rooms, we'll play the games a little bit, but it's just the press, and then they can write their thoughts on gameplay and all that. Um, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how things go going forward.
Yeah.
But I hope that what E3 is as a like celebration of gaming, as well as a convenient place for companies to sell their shit. Uh, I enjoy it.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
I've been paying attention to E3 in some capacity every year since I was 11.
yep,
Like, because you would get your gaming magazines, and that would have something about it. And then when I was like 12, 13, I started to get on the internet, and I watched videos that were barely bigger than a postage stamp for the new trailers.
right.
Um, it,
Remember watching Tech TV at E3, or I think they were G4 by that point. When the PlayStation 3 got announced, and I remember I have a distinct memory of everyone, including like the X-Play people, talking about the price, and it was interesting because that was when you were really getting exposed to the industry when you're that young.
well, not only that, but like the price to get into E3 though, because for media it's free, for exhibitors it's fairly, it's fairly for exhibitors it's fairly affordable considering how many badges they're buying and everything.
Yeah.
But like you have the attendee badge now, which is 150 for the 3-day gamers pass, and then the individual tickets are, hold on, let's see. So it's still like 250. Let's see. The first 1,000 tickets will be sold for 150. All tickets after that will be 250.
Ugh.
So,
Ugh.
yeah, that's gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, man. Like, and back in the day, like, if you were just an average person who wanted to get in, and like you had, like, it was $500. If you were just a dude who wanted into it,
Right.
back when you could just like straight pay.
Yeah.
And like like it's too expensive. There's not enough to do for the casual fan now that they're treating it like a con.
Right.
And there's not enough to do for the and there's no exhibitors once again, like what benefit is there for an exhibitor other than to give a hands-on demo with the press?
Yep.
Like none. Like
Yep.
there's no reason for Microsoft to go as hard as they did.
Right.
They could have shown a 1-hour video and been like, all right, cool, out.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm telling you, I think they should just transition to the internet. I just hope that they keep it. The problem is that these companies do not have any incentive to show their stuff alongside other exhibitors in one moment in time if you're all broadcasting on the internet. But for the consumer, I just think it's fun to have it all come out at once.
Yeah, no, it's great. Like as a consumer, it's awesome. When I was media, it was awesome to have that 4-day bender of just all right, wake up, go to Microsoft, go get my badge, go to Sony at night, wake up next morning, watch Nintendo, go do my post Nintendo press conference and meetup, and then all right, get my day's appointment started. It was it was really awesome. That was a genuinely awesome thing that would happen. The problem with it is I think that E3 is too broken up now. Because EA is Saturday, Microsoft and Bethesda are Sunday, Ubisoft and Sony are Monday, Nintendo is Tuesday. And it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday through Thursday is the show floor.
Right. And then you as press are having to maneuver around like consumers and like fans.
Right, which that's its own thing, but it's just like, it used to be just like E3 was like a 5-day fever dream.
Right.
Now it's like a 7-day plotting fucking nightmare because it's like, all right, we didn't cover EA, but let's say for whatever fucking stupid reason we did. Okay, so we're gonna go drive down on Friday, not Saturday, so a day earlier, to wake up early to go to EA. To watch like 2 trailers.
Yep.
And then like that's it. And then like a little bit of new tech and whatnot.
Yep.
Then we would get out of that, do all our recording and writing for it, and then we have nothing to do for a whole full day. Until the stuff on Sunday with Microsoft, and then later in the day, Bethesda.
Right.
And then the next day is Monday, in which you would go to pick up your badges, and then after you picked up your badges, you would go and go to Ubisoft.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. Did they announce a date for next E3?
No, they have not. Not to my knowledge, anyway.
Okay. Interesting.
So, we'll see.
Yeah.
And then, you'd have Square, Ubisoft, Monday, and Sony, I believe? Yeah, back when they existed. And then Tuesday morning, you'd wake up with the crack of dawn to watch Nintendo before hitting the show floor.
Right.
Like how spread out is that? Versus what it used to be is bunch of press conferences on Monday, Nintendo Tuesday morning, show floor.
Yep.
And I hate to break this to Ubisoft and Bethesda and EA and Square 9 times out of 10 this applies to you, not as much but still there. Nobody cares. Look, the stuff that people cared about at Square, you easily could have snuck into a Sony press conference.
Sure.
The stuff from EA that mattered was literally in the Microsoft press conference.
Right.
Besides maybe some of the season pass stuff for Apex.
Yeah, it would make sense if they kept it to themselves and then just put it out as a video on the internet. But I don't know. It's going to be weird. We'll see how things develop as time goes on. Since we don't know a date for E3, we'll see what their plan is going forward. But I will say Nintendo apparently did have some success with the Treehouse and the event in LA.
Yeah, I think the Treehouse is great for if you are a fan watching at home. Like, that's awesome. Like, if you pull up their YouTube, I'll pull up their YouTube right now for everyone at home watching this on our YouTube. Let's see what we got here. So, all right, let's go to Nintendo's YouTube.
Okay.
You go to videos. They're like, all right, going back to the start of E3.
Here's Mario doing the cinnamon challenge.
God, that's old. But no, okay.
Yeah.
So they have they have a bunch of pre-E3 stuff and announcements and whatnot, and then they have their Nintendo Direct, and then just a bunch of trailers, and then a bunch of long 30-minute gameplay demos. Like here's 30 minutes of Crypt of the Necro or Cadence of Hyrule. There's 30 minutes of Animal Crossing. Here's 30 minutes of Marvel Ultimate Alliance Black Order Part 1. 30 minutes. Like every major game from their presser, like here's 30 minutes if we have gameplay to show. And
Right.
that's and here's interviews for your questions. Like that's super awesome.
Yeah.
So like now if they can just integrate something there for the attendees on the show floor, maybe other than hey, just get in line like the rest of them.
Right.
Like that might be something worth talking about. Anyway,
I don't know. We shall see.
we shall. So, I'm going to. I don't got anything else. Do you?
That's all I can think of for right now.
I believe we got one comment on the last episode. I want to say,
Okay.
Granted, it's been a far shorter amount of time.
Yep.
Should have tethered the DS to big buff scary guys.
Yeah.
I've
been great.
I think that would have been funny.
Sure.
So yeah.
Try to run away with him.
Come sail away. Oh Lord. Yeah. No. That's all right. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's going on in the world of video games.
Video games.
We're all kind of coming down from that.
Come down from that. Busy weekends. All that
Cadence
stuff.
of Hyrule is out. I've heard.
Yeah, that's out. You play that yet?
I haven't. I've heard some various reactions to it. If you like rhythm games, it's great. If you don't like rhythm games, well,
Why'd you buy a rhythm game?
yeah, I know it's Zelda, but
Yeah, like it's Rhythm Zelda.
the thing that you have to do in it is rhythm based. So regardless of the content of it, it is what it is. So
You did anything?
what?
So you've been playing anything recently? Ugh, sorry.
Oh God, I think I may have talked about this last time. Tried Sea of Thieves. Proceeded to quickly turn my ship sideways and into the water, which was great. And then that game just throws you in, no joke. Like it's like, oh, this is a fun pirate game, and here's all these characters that are like the epitome of the romantic image of pirateering, and like they're all about trying to get you to have fun and adventure, and this is what it's about. And then they just throw you in. It's like, all right, sail a boat. No tutorial. Like, there's a wheel there.
Send me a text saying, "All right, sail a boat." That's the title of this episode.
Well, because I don't know. Like, I had to learn. It's not complicated, but like the other thing that happened was I started sailing and I was like starting to get it. It's like it's not telling me what it is. I just have to look around at the boat, and it's fairly simple. So I'm just figuring it out. And then like as I lift the anchor and I start moving away, immediately a giant sea monster spawns and it's like attacking my ships. Like, and I'm like, this rope does something right. This rope, okay, up, down, 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 down. Oh no, my ship's sideways. I am being grabbed. I have been thrown from my ship. It does not mess around, and I love it. But also at the same time, like as soon as that was done, it's like, all right, I gotta save this for another time.
All right, next weekend, you, Quinn, and I need to get on that. Like we need to, because I had a similar experience. Except I actually managed to get a quest because you get them from the people in the town, and it's like go to this island and dig this shit up, and like I got completely lost because I had trouble reading the map because you actually have to read maps, and like
yes, you have to read the map. Oh God,
and like I got entirely lost as I was discovering the map.
Oh God, it's fun. It's fun. I just need to work on it more. I'm excited, and that's basically it.
Nice. The sounds of downtown Seattle. Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Bronson?
Can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you.
I can hear you as well.
Test, test, test.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh.
Hello?
Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing. Test, test, test. Test, test, test.
Hold on one sec.
Test. Test, test. Hello? Are you here? Test, test. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Alright, I can hear you too.
Well, that sucks.
That was weird. Sorry for everyone. That was weird.
Well, we should probably edit that a little bit.
Alright, well, anyway, that should about wrap it up.
Yeah, before this whole thing burns down.
Yeah, I don't know what the weird microphone thing was, but whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, we'll be back next Tuesday, everyone.
Yes, we'll be ready to go talk about video games and whatever else is going on in our heads.
Yeah, bye.
All right,
That's a
see you
scary
guys.
place.
Yeah, it is. Ugh.